In August 2017, I had the opportunity to go to Fremont Peak, and I got to go not only on a very special peak, but at a very special time when there was a total solar eclipse. I started at Elkhart Park and laid out all my backpacking gear, and then was on the trail along the way, first to Hobbs Lake. Then eventually I got to Seneca Lake, and the views were just breathtaking along the whole thing. It was truly amazing. And then eventually I got to Island Lake, and then I could see all the peaks of this Titcomb Basin, which was definitely one of the most beautiful spots of rugged mountains that I've ever seen anywhere. I started the hike at an elevation of around 9,000 feet, and by the time I located a campsite, I was at an elevation of around 10,600 feet or so. And this is the trail here along Island Lake and looking over toward Titcomb Basin, and that was Fremont Peak in there that you could see, and would be my destination for the next day. And so then I set up camp around 6 p.m. or so. This was the view outside of my tent, and I was kind of out in the open, but with a line of trees close by me there. And then the next morning I got up and ate my breakfast and got started around 7 a.m. and headed up toward Indian Pass on the trail. And then eventually, when I had this view of Fremont Peak, which I would follow that ridge line up, I went off trail and just started going across the open country and nice rock and occasionally some soft snow fields, which was a nice break from all the rocks and boulders. And eventually I got to the saddle on the ridge line, and then from there on it was a scramble, and you could overlook all the peaks of Titcomb Basin. One thing that troubled many people was that there was clouds that morning, and I thought, oh, this isn't going to be good for seeing the total solar eclipse if the clouds are covering everything. But as we kept going, eventually the clouds broke and the sun came out, and it was absolutely beautiful. This is as I got near the summit, and I actually went out on this rock outcropping and had another hiker snap my photo. Here I am on that rock outcropping. And this point, I was just maybe 150 to 100 feet below the actual summit of Fremont Peak. And you could see Gannett Peak in the distance. You could see the Fremont Glacier below on the other side of the ridge. And it was just a beautiful, glorious view. You could see all around. That's Gannett Peak, only about 60 feet higher than where I was, and almost felt like I was in an airplane. This rock was actually the true highest point of Fremont Peak. There was about 20 other people on the summit too that were enjoying it, and were up there to witness the eclipse, which we would have about a 45-minute wait. And I got behind this rock so I could be out of the wind, which was coming from the other side while I was waiting.
Wyoming, second highest in Wind River range, and lots of dramatic pinnacle peaks all around with a dramatic glacier below here. It's been a great day.
20.
I think it might get better.
Well, there's also going to be an eclipse in about 20 minutes here.
Awesome.
Truly beautiful spot. And then the moment which for about a minute and a half would occur when it would be a total solar eclipse, was just about upon us. Well, here we are on Fremont Peak. It's about 11:37 a.m. Close to noontime, and we are currently about to experience a total solar eclipse here. There's the sun, and it's a total solar eclipse, folks. There's some of the other people on the summit.
Wow!
And here's looking up at the sun, and you can see the moon covering up the sun completely here.
That is unreal, dude!
I'm gonna stop and get a still picture too of this. Just jumping back to the video of this total solar eclipse here. Once again, we're on the Fremont Peak, elevation 13,745 feet, and this is looking down at the Fremont Glacier down below us here. Keep in mind, this is midday right now, folks. This is midday. This is not sunset. It'd be kind of irresponsible to be up here at sunset. You can see Gannett Peak sticking up on the horizon over there with a cloud over it. Other clouds here. It looks kind of like sunset right now instead of, or sunrise, depending on which you want to think that it is. And then coming over to this side, we're looking over at Titcomb Basin over here, and this is what we see over there. And now the sun is starting to pop back out again. That's my first time ever experiencing a total solar eclipse. It'd be hard to think of a better place to have eclipse. Still just look really weird for this time of day. And things are pretty much light. You still see the twilight in the distance. We're pretty much back to close to normal daylight again up here. So hope you all enjoyed the total solar eclipse. And just like that, the solar eclipse was over, and the sun came back out. Things were bright again, and then I was descending along with 20 to 25 other people, and I even got to call my family while I was up there because there was phone service up higher on the mountain. And then I got back down, and after I was down, I kind of rested, and then the next day I kind of took it easy, took a walk into Titcomb Basin, where I was blessed to see a calm, windless day where the lakes were reflecting in the most glorious way. And it was just amazing pictures to see the reflections so clear and so still in the lakes. That was a truly amazing morning. After that, I headed back to my camp and I rested for a while. And then I packed up and hiked the 12 miles back out to the trailhead in only a little bit more than 5.5 hours.